Counsel, you recognize?
Yes, I wasn't trying to address. Is this on? Yes, Mr. President. I do have a copy of the rules now provided me by Senator Giddens, and I don't know what occurred, what the senator is alluding to, but I'm assuming that if she's citing Rule 602, that the bill was never assigned to a committee of jurisdiction as required by 602A. So I believe what the senator, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, is requesting is, or suggesting, is to ensure that this is correct, that there be a waiving of that rule as opposed to going forward if indeed that is what occurred.
That is not what I heard the senator spoke to. The senator said that she, as acting president, should have been a part of the proforma session. That is what I heard the senator speak to. If I'm incorrect, Senator Mellon Young, is that what you were saying?
You're correct to a certain degree, Mr. President. The rules call for either the president, the acting president in your stead, or designee. And so since I was the one who was here and I didn't designate anyone, it is improperly before us, this bill. So as counsel has stated, if you need to waive the rules, maybe that's what you need to do. But
Counsel, is Bill 31-0251 and probably before the body?
I'm sorry,
Hey, come
based
on.
on
Yeah, go ahead.
based on Rule 602A and also 602B, if I was incorrect, it seems as Senator Millen Young was saying it wasn't the committee question. 602B requires, in lieu of the first reading described in subsection A, which would have been when it was assigned to a committee, the president may sit in pro forma session with one other senator for the sole purpose of assigning bills to committee, which considered as the first reading, and shall promptly distribute the bills to all senators. So I believe under B, it would also not be properly before us if the president, because both sections speak about the president's involvement. So if what the senator is saying is as acting president she wasn't in attendance, I don't see where under this rule it would be legal to have someone other than the president or his designee deal with either section A or B.
Thank you very much, Counsel. Senator Mellon Young, that satisfies your request?
the only satisfaction, Mr. President, will be
Senator, did Counsel speak to your concern?
counsel spoke to my point.
Thank you very much, Counsel. Senators, before we get to what is before us, the agenda calls for committee reports. Then we will speak to whether or not how we will deliberate. Senator O'Reilly, you're recognized, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening. Mr. President, I believe that this session is improper tonight. I believe that the notice for session under Rules 201 were not followed, and I would like to query counsel through the President. Thank you.
While we wait for counsel to speak to Rule 201, Senator O'Reilly?
Yes.
Counsel, can you please speak to Rule 201 into the record?
Would you like to read this in total or no?
Senator
Okay.
O'Reilly, what sections of Rule 201?
Okay, I believe the senator may be relating to section 201E. The legislature shall also convene upon such date as may be designated in a petition signed by a majority of the members of the legislature, which must include the time and date of the session, providing no less than 5 calendar days notice, and must list the agenda. No session of the legislature convened by petition may extend beyond 2 calendar days, blah, blah, blah. Nothing else I don't think applies. No matters other than those listed in the petition's agenda may be considered during a session convened under this subsection. And prior to that, 201D says the president may convene regular sessions at the president's discretion, but not after adjournment sine die. But let me just qualify this by saying, I don't know how this, I know there was a petition.
Please speak into the mic. You
Yes,
have to turn
okay.
and speak. Turn
I
to the
know
mic.
there was, it's my understanding from what I've been told, there was a petition, but it's also my understanding that you, Mr. President, convened this session by providing the members with an agenda. This section doesn't speak to the time in which an agenda must be circulated other than with respect to one that's convened by a petition. So I'm not sure what the what Senator O'Reilly's concern is in terms of the violation of the rule, but those would be the two sections of Rule 201 that would be D and E, as I read, that that could possibly apply.
Can you please cite Rule 607, 609?
.607 and 609?
607 speaks to what section?
Okay. Floor agenda 607A, no later than Tuesday preceding a week in which the legislature meets in session, the president and such other member as the president considers necessary shall meet and fix the floor agenda for the following calendar week. No bill may be on the agenda which has not previously been favorably reported out by the Committee on Rules or formally introduced and assigned to the floor. The agenda must be prepared in writing and include the number and short title of each bill or resolution to be called for consideration, the time allotted by the Committee on Rules for general debate, and the day of the week on which the bill or resolution will be called up. The agenda must include any other matters such as nominations, lease agreements, and coastal zone permits that require a vote of the Senate. That would have been 607A. 607B, no later than noon on Wednesday preceding the week in which the legislature meets in session, the president shall cause to be hand-delivered to the office of each senator a copy of the agenda together with a copy of bills and resolutions named thereon and the biography of each nominee for Senate approval. Rule 607C, the order of consideration of matters on the agenda may not be rearranged or reordered, nor may a bill be called up on the day other than the day it has been scheduled, except by the consent of a majority of the senators, which must be given during session, except that the president, in the president's discretion, may reschedule any matter on the agenda. If a session of the legislature is recessed before the completion of each of the items on the agenda, the president may announce that the session will convene on a subsequent date for the purpose of completing the agenda. However, such a reconvened session does not have to meet the advance notice requirements of these rules.
Thank you very much, Counsel. Motion? Motion, Senator Sanas.
Thank you.
Point of order. Senator Miller Young.
Mr. President, thank you. I hate to be a stickler. But if you had an agenda by Wednesday, which I didn't see on Wednesday, and a proforma session took place for a bill on Friday, how was the agenda done before there was a bill with a number?
Motion, Senator Sanas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we waive rule number 602. I so moved.
Second. Moved by Senator Sanas, seconded by Senator Veerle, objected to by Senator O'Reilly. Roll call on the motion.
Senator Blyden? Yes. Senator Blyden, yes. Senator Ford? Yes. Senator Ford, yes. Senator Francis Jr.? Yes. Senator Francis Jr., yes. Senator Gittins? Yes. Senator Gittins, yes. Senator Graham? Senator Graham, yes. Senator Harrigan Sr.? Senator Harrigan Sr., yes. Senator Jackson? Senator Jackson, yes. Senator James? Senator James, yes. Senator Liburd? Senator Liburd not voting. Senator Nelson? Senator Nelson not voting. Senator O'Reilly? Senator O'Reilly, no. Senator Roach? Senator Roach, no. Senator Sanis? Senator Sanis, yes. Senator Bailey? Senator Bailey, yes. Senator Millian?
No.
Senator Millian, no. Mr. President, 10 years. 10 years, 3 nays, 2 not voting.
Very well. The motion carries. Rule 602 is waived as it relates to tonight's, to the bill being proforma, and waiving the rule of proforma, and the bill is currently before the body for consideration tonight.